model Chrissy Teigen got pregnant through in vitro fertilization. And through that process, she was able to decide what the gender of her child will be. So she opted to have a girl. Now, this led to a number of people criticizing her for doing this. It's interesting, but the United States is one of very few countries that allows people to decide whether or not their child will be a boy or a girl, right? Now, the process can cost up to $20,000, which isn't a problem for them because they're wealthy, and it was originally created to screen out serious genetic diseases. But as with all advancements in technology and the medical field, there's room for abuse, but the question is this considered abuse? Is it so wrong for someone to decide the gender of their child? Go.
Okay. I get why some countries outlaw it because, unfortunately, some cultures, men are considered more important than women, okay? So especially in China, if you have a one-child policy, that's why I say especially in China, and then you might want a boy instead of a girl in that culture if you're only allowed one. So if you allow it in China, you might get a lot more boys than girls. Even so, even today, without this possibility, there's a lot more boys.
Yeah.
Because of terrible things that happen to make sure that the girls are not born and
yeah, they abort the female fetuses.
Right. So and which gives you a sense that people are going to do it anyway by even worse methods.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, should it be allowed in a country like America? Yeah, of course it should. What business is it of mine? I wouldn't do it, but I don't even know why I wouldn't do it. But I certainly wouldn't judge someone else who decided to do it. It's not my business. It's their business.
Yeah, so look, I'm not an expert on IVF. I think it's fascinating, and I don't know how far it can go. I don't know how much you can perfect a fetus through this process. But let's say, for the sake of the conversation, you can change anything, including like facial features and things like that. When it comes to gender, I have no interest in choosing the gender. Like, I'd rather have a girl. I only want to have one child at some point. But if I have a boy, that's not the end of the world. Of course, I'll be happy. I'd love that. There are certain features, natural features that I was born with that I no longer have, that I would like to prevent my child from having. So if I had the money and the ability to prevent that feature from coming about, yeah, I would do it. And anyone who judges me can fuck off.
Wow, you're even harsher than I am on this. Okay, so I believe the super babies are coming, and I believe there's nothing we can do about it. And if you have whatever moral qualms you have about it, some might be based on religion, but many other are not based on religion. Sad day, because the Chinese are going to do it, the Koreans are going to do it, I don't need to keep listing the cities who are going to do it. They're all going to do it. Okay.
It's human nature.
Yeah, and it, to me, that is a scary world where we are now genetically modifying kids. We're not there yet. Okay, so we can pick the sex, but we can't start shaping the kids yet in terms of strength, looks, etc. Will we get there? Almost certainly. The science is clearly advancing in that direction. So I mean, we're going to mess with the gene pool in a way that is unimaginable. So we've already done it, by the way, for so many other plants and animals. The banana looks like it does because we mess with its genes. Dogs are completely human creations, probably out of wolves. There's some scientific dispute about that.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wait, what did bananas look like before? That's bananas.
Yeah, I know. No, it's hilarious because there's this moment where that shitty sitcom actor from the 1980s who's like really religious, who's like, oh, well, the banana is formed by God to fit your hand like this. No, you knucklehead. No, we designed them that way.
Really?
Yes, yes.
What did they look like before?
I don't know. What do I know?
Were they like a ball? And someone's like, I don't want a ball.
I want to be able to hold it in my hand like this.
I want it to be more phallic.
Right. So anyway, if we did it to bananas and we did it to dogs, and boy, have we done it to dogs to create all those different breeds and then the crossbreeds, etc. Are we going to do it to humans? Of course. So this is the beginning. There's no way of preventing it. And on the issue of gender, why would I tell you how to live your life, right? What has it got to do with me, right?
Right.
She wants a daughter and somebody else wants a son. Have at it, Hoss.